Alright guys, so our next topic is prime and composite numbers. So remember, here are the two things we need to remember at the top, that a prime number has exactly two factors and a composite has more than two factors. So obviously you have to know what a factor is. So just a quick reminder, if I have a problem like 2 times 3 equals 6, 6 is my product and 2 and 3 are my factors. So they are the numbers that make up a product by using multiplication. So we are going to use a divisibility chart because remember, multiplication and division go hand in hand and they're partners. So we're going to kind of work backwards to see which numbers have exactly two factors. Now, when we use smaller numbers, obviously we already know. So if I know the number 12, for example, since that's a fact family that I should know, 6 times 2, right? 4 times 3. So it automatically has more than two factors. So that means 12 is composite. But then when we get up to bigger numbers that we may not know, we're going to use the divisibility chart. So we don't have to throw everything into here. All of our numbers less than probably 30, we should just know because of our multiplication facts. But when we get bigger than that, we need some kind of way to work through this. So if I have a number like 51, and I don't really know right offhand if 51 is prime or composite, the good news is I can use this divisibility chart. And pause 1 second. You need a calculator. So I'm going to use a divisibility chart, and I hope what you noticed across the top of my chart are these are all the prime numbers that are less than 10. So 2 is prime, 3, 5, 7, those are my prime numbers that are less than 10. If I try to put one of those numbers into my chart, it is not going to work. So we need to use our number sense first and only use the chart when we absolutely have to. So I'm going to take 51 and divide it by 2. But from all of our homework that we've had this year, I already know that if I take an odd number and divide it by 2, I'm going to get a decimal answer. And so I'm looking for whole numbers in my divisibility chart. So 51 divided by 2 is going to give me a decimal answer. And that is not what I want. So I'm going to put an X. So I'm going to try the next one. 51 divided by 3. 51 divided by 3 is actually 17. So as soon as I get a whole number in my chart, anywhere at any point, I'm going to stop because my chart is now done. And so I'm going to circle it. And because I got a whole number, this tells me that 17 times 3 equals 51 because we're using a fact family. 51 divided by 3 is 17. 17 times 3 is 51. Those are factors. Well, I know that 51 already has 1 times 51, right? Because all numbers have itself in 1. And now I know that it also has 17 times 3. So as soon as I get a whole number here, I immediately know that number is composite. So I'm going to put a big C over here, and I don't need to complete the chart at this point. So let me try another one. Let's do 57, because I may not know those facts in my head. And so 57 is an odd number divided by 2. I'm going to get a decimal. I already know that because when I take an odd number divided by 2, I'm going to get 5/10, right, in my decimal place. So 57 divided by 3 is 19. Again, I got another whole number. 19 times 3 is 57. I got another number that's composite, and I did not do that on purpose, actually. Let's try 67. And see what we get here. Again, odd number divided by 2, it's going to be a decimal. I could do it just to check, but I'm going to save myself a little time because I already know that piece. So 67 divided by 3 is 22 and 33/100ths repeating. And I'm going to write that in there because this is what it would look like as we work through. But when I get to the point where I'm comfortable with this, I'm actually not even going to do that part. I'm going to say, all right, well, I got a decimal answer, so I don't want that. It's not what I need because that's not giving me a whole number and a factor. So 67 divided by 5 is 13 4/10, decimal. 67 divided by 7 is 9 5/10, and a whole bunch of other numbers. But it's a decimal, so still, I did not get a single whole number. That means that all 67 has as factors are 67 times 1. And there are no other factors that I have. So if I have exactly two factors, that means I'm prime. And it works just like that. So I'm going to do one more just to make sure that you understand how to use the chart correctly. Let's try 73. Again, it's an odd number, but I could do it. 73 divided by 2, and I get 36 and 5/10. So decimal number, no. 73 divided by 3, 24 and 3/10. Decimal number is not what I need. 73 divided by 5. Decimal number, 73 divided by 7. I get 10 and 4/10. So again, no factors, they were decimals. So 73 only has 73 times 1, and that's it. So again, then that's a prime number. So this is how my divisibility chart works. If I have a number like 18, I should know those factors already. And so don't get so caught up in having to do a divisibility chart with your bigger numbers that you waste time and do them with the smaller numbers that you already know. There's also a couple parts in here where I kind of wasted a step, but I did it anyway. I know that 67 does not have 5 as a factor. So I want you to think through why I know that, and we're going to talk about that piece later. But this is your divisibility chart to figure out if a number is prime or composite, and we're going to be doing it soon in class.